Hello everyone, welcome to this new video on this channel. Yes, I have returned after 2 weeks. Why after 2 weeks, sheeptag? Why did you only come back now? Well, that is because I was waiting for the release of the nvidia graphics cards and the new AMD processors. Yes, they are here and we are going to use them in this build. However, keep in mind, the processors and the GPU and the PSU actually, but I'll explain that later, are sold out right now, and that's simply because there's a high demand for these products. So just when you want to build this system, keep in mind that you'll probably have to wait something like a month at least to be able to get the products. Or get lucky and get one. Let's get straight into the build. Now, I always start my builds with the processor. It's simply how I do it. It's kind of like a list I go down, and that's how I work. Now, the processor in this build is the AMD Ryzen 5 5600X 6-core and 3.7 GHz processor. This is an almighty processor. It is one of the best processors right now that's for the consumer and is actually like realistic. And with realistic I mean more like worth the price. Sure, you can go for a better processor than this one, but if you're only going to game, you don't really need it. Now, what it always was before this, or like a couple months ago, before the Ryzen 5th gen processors were released, it was always that Intel was better for gaming, purely because of its single core performance. Single core performance of Intel was just way better than that of AMD. However, AMD's performance was way better on multi-threading, multi-core processes. So that means AMD would be better on Photoshop rendering, video rendering, all that type of stuff. However, in gaming, Intel was usually better. However, that has completely changed. The new AMD Ryzen 5000 series processors are single core performance are better than that of Intel. So that means that also for gaming, AMD Ryzen 5 5000 gen is way better. Just in general. And it is $300 for the AMD Ryzen 5 5600X on Newegg, but I think it's pretty much worth the price. Of course, if you want to go a little bit cheaper, you can still go for the AMD Ryzen 5 3600 or the 3600X. It is up to you, but I think this is a pretty good CPU, and since it has just released a couple of days ago, it's definitely one you should keep in mind. Hello everyone, this is Editor Sheepsag here. I'm just here to tell you guys that when you click on the link to the Newegg side of the Ryzen 5 CPU, you will actually find that the price has jumped to $500. Don't buy it at this price, it's not worth it. Not even by a long shot. Just don't buy it at this price. As you can also see best sellers down there, you can see that it's Newegg themselves. And it's only $300, and it says it's sold out. They will restock it, and if they don't, go to Amazon or something, but don't pay this ridiculous price for it, please don't, because it's not worth $500. Okay, that's I'm going to leave now. Just wait till they're back in stock. Okay, I'm going to leave now. Bye. Now we go to the motherboard. The motherboard is an MSI B450 Tomahawk Max ATX AM4 motherboard. You know, this is just a standard motherboard. It's a good motherboard, don't get me wrong, it's not just basic, it's good. However, it is not really special or anything. It is kind of normal. Yeah, that is truly something interesting. Except the LED strip on the side, which is just a little accent on the motherboard, which makes it a bit more unique, but it's nothing special. It's just a good motherboard from MSI, it does the thing what it has to do well, and let's just get straight to the next thing, which is the RAM. And also with the RAM you can't really talk about a lot because I nearly always choose the same RAM. It is the Corsair Vengeance LPX 16GB dual channel. It is DDR4 RAM, 3200 MHz, it's 16GB in total, dual channeled, so it's fast, it works, and it's reliable. Corsair is a good brand, and it's not even that expensive as well for RAM. It's actually decently cheap. So yeah, definitely a RAM that is overall just the best one. And now people get to storage. So the storage devices are actually two. We have actually two storage devices in this build. The first one is the HDD, which is the Seagate Barracuda Compute 2TB, 7200 RPM, 3.5 inch. Just your basic HDD, 2TB to store all your games and all your stuff you don't really need to load up quickly and all that stuff. Not really something special. But the second drive, that is something unique, and that is a Samsung 970 EVO 1TB M.2 2280. The brand Samsung is a very respected brand in the SSD market. Samsung has been putting out great SSDs. Yes, they have been expensive compared to competitors. Don't get me wrong, they're expensive, but they're quick. I mean, alright, fast. They're fast. They are reliable, and that's basically reliable. They always work. They just always work, and they do what they have to do. Or they don't really always work, of course, but you get what I mean. This is just a good SSD, and if you have to go for one, this is pretty much just the top of the line. So, yeah. This is mostly just for your Windows, and I did 1TB if you want to put in GTA 5 or something that you want to load up quickly, because it definitely does need that, until GTA 6 gets released, but that won't happen anytime soon. So yeah, just 1TB of M.2 solid state drive. Now, we get to the very special thing, and that's the thing most people are excited for in these builds, and that is the Gigabyte GeForce RTX 1370 DirectX 12 8GB VRAM. The RTX 3070 is just a beast. A beast. There's not much more you can say about it. It runs every game nearly smoothly. I'm probably going to show some benchmarks somewhere on the screen right now, and you can just see that. Wow, this thing performs, and it performs, this thing does the things that it has to do very well. It's a well-built piece of technology, and it does what it has to do very well, as I already said. That's why I chose this RTX 3070. It's pretty much the creme de la creme for right now, if you want to get your bang for the buck. It's not really bang for the buck, by the way. This is like higher end stuff, and you can pretty much expect to game on 4K with this thing, and pretty well too. Now, this thing came in a combo bundle, and normally I don't use combo bundles, because they're pretty unreliable if you talk about how long they continue, because sometimes they're gone in a week, sometimes they're gone in a month, and sometimes they just exist and never go away. This combo bundle is a GPU and a PSU, and the PSU is actually something very interesting. That's also kind of why I chose this. It is a Gigabyte 750 watts power supply, fully modular, 80 plus gold certified. That's a good PSU. That's a good PSU. And you know that you never want to save money on your PSU. So this is... wow. When I saw this combo bundle, I was pretty excited, because it's a good combo bundle. And well, that's basically it. Our combo bundle and combo deal, I don't really care. And whatever you call it. But yeah, you get a good PSU and a good GPU. And man, you can game everything on this machine. And now we get to something else, and that is the case. And you guys already know, I think cases are personal preference. The case I went with is the Pentax Eclipse P300A Mesh 8x mid-tower case. Now, I think this is a pretty good looking case, and I think I pretty much like this case. But if you don't like this case, then just make sure it's in the budget, and just make sure everything fits in it, and you should be fine. So yeah, because cases are personal preference. I can't choose for you what you have to like. You can decide that for yourself, so just go out there and maybe look for something else. This is just more or less like an indicative, and if you like this case, then well, you might as well get this case. Just decide for yourself. And if we round it up, we're about a price of $1,400. So yeah, I hope you guys like this video. Again, I'm a small channel. Please like, subscribe, and comment, and just help me out here. Thank you very much, and I hope to see you guys in the next week probably, with the next computer build. See you guys then. Bye.